Welcome to another episode of Marketing Tomorrow. I'm your host, Max.
Leon.
Today, we will be discussing communities within the future of marketing.
Yeah, we'll be going over topics like the power of communities, the role of technology, replacing traditional marketing, and metrics for measuring community success.
So the first topic we'll be talking about is the power of communities.
Yeah, I mean, just off the bat, like, what are we thinking? Co-creation, right?
Yeah, co-creation.
It's been a pretty big thing, right? I mean, we saw it with Lego, right, where fans submitted their designs and did they pick a winner? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so I think it was like fans could submit their Lego designs onto the Lego website, and then other fans vote for the ones that they had a favourite.
Right.
The one with the most vote by the end becomes an actual sort of like Lego set.
Lego set.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Interesting. Well, and that's completely like done by the fans.
Yeah, it's a community page on the Lego website. It's very easy to find, so people can just get involved within the brand through that.
Yeah.
So how important do you think co-creation is within communities?
I mean, it's got to be pretty massive, right? If a brand is interacting with their community more than others, or just making sure, keeping in touch, whether that's on social media. We see Gymshark do that a lot. I mean, I'd respect the brand a lot more if they interacted with me as a consumer.
I mean, interacting with the consumers, that will actually give them actual advice and actual feedback on what the consumers want.
Yeah.
If the brand is only discussing with it internally what the consumers would want without really that research, then they might miss it. They might release something that doesn't actually appeal to their customer base.
Yeah. I mean, I think as well, from a more business side of it, like you said, the instant feedback you can get from your community, you'll know what to release, you'll know what not to release. It makes the decision process of what next. So for example, maybe Nike with a certain shoe they want to release or anything, they'll be able to tell what their consumers like and what they don't like.
Following on from that, we are joined here with Jimmy,
our lecturer. So Jimmy, what challenges do the brands face when relying on communities instead of traditional ads?
I think it's the time frame of things. Communities isn't just going to be like we're focusing on communities and then tomorrow we have communities. It's a relational thing, so it's going to take some time to get those communities. So yes, you still have to kind of do the traditional stuff and build up that communities. I think the challenge is really understanding what that community wants and what it means, and I think it's also giving up some power in a way, because if we argue what the literature is saying, that communities own the brand rather than the brand owning the brand the way it used to be, I think we really need to start thinking about what power are we giving away and what are we getting back, and not to be so obsessed with that power.
Do you feel like communities might replace traditional marketing? So obviously, like you were just saying, traditional marketing is essential, obviously, for the beginning and for probably a large duration of it. But say like Tesla, for example, they've withdrawn with a lot of traditional marketing because they know that they've got such a strong community that will support their products and stuff. Do you feel like communities could replace in certain business models?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely the way we're heading. But I think you also need to think about how much of these traditional things or traditional theories, like relationship theory, it's a traditional kind of theory that's been coming a long time. I mean, Kotler has said for years we need to think about consumers. So it's not that different. It's just, again, I think I said this before in class, we're now actually, as marketers, being exposed where all these things that we've been saying we're doing, like focusing on our consumers, if we focus on communities, then it's still traditional, but it's just really relinquishing that power and going, okay, we're now actually doing what we said we've been doing all this time.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you're listening to what the customers are saying, then you're going to be going in the correct direction, the direction that the customers want you to be going in.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's a whole piece in academia about brand love. And if people love your brand, that's where your community's starting. And then if you're really focusing on them, giving the people what they want to an extent, you're doing your marketing correctly. And that's what I would argue.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think that there's a line when it comes to how much brands should focus on their communities? I mean, just an example, obviously Gymshark, a lot of their stuff is focused on their communities. They rely on their communities, interacting on TikTok. Also, they've got YouTube now, all types of social media platforms. Do you think they focus too much, or do you think it's just right for them?
I think what they're doing is obviously working, and I mean, I think they need to kind of continue thinking of how they're doing it. And I mean, if you again look at gym as a community or fitness as a community, that is pretty much built on community together. And I think if brands tap into that, and I think what Gymshark does really well is it's not as much as the product that they're trying to sell, but a kind of style. Does that make sense?
It's more fashion now, really, isn't
fashion,
it?
and also, but it's fashion within fitness.
Yeah.
But I mean, even people who doesn't go to the gym, I see walking. Well, I would assume doesn't go to the gym or something like that. Walks around with something with the brand of Gymshark. And I think yes, that's what kind of. I think that is kind of successful because yes, you have these very strong people who use your brand within the fitness community, but it even extends beyond that.
It links to the brand identity, doesn't
it?
Yeah. And yeah, guys, I mean, this is a little segment, little feature from our lecturer, Jimmy. And
it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Cheers,
of course.
Great answers of the questions. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little feature that we had. Moving on through, still talking about power of communities, but I want to know sort of how can you monetize communities? How can these communities be monetized?
Yeah, well, subscription models, right? I mean, there's so many out there, right? There's obviously a lot of run clubs. They feed into it. They're probably emailing out weekly. Do you know what I mean? Do you know much about obviously monetization and
so I know that. So certain influencers and creators, they obviously build a community around their sort of page or their online presence, and from creating these communities, they could set up courses and say it's an educational sort of influencer talking about maybe trading or stock markets. They might have a sort of like trade group, and it's a subscription to get access to the group.
Yeah, I've heard about these.
There's also crowdfunding as well. If the community, if the whole community wanted to start a sort of movement, they could start some sort of crowdfunding. Affiliate marketing as well. If you're not too sure what affiliate marketing is,
I'm not too sure about what that is.
It's basically just promoting products to the community, and if the community buy the products through the link that the community owner or whoever runs the community gave them, then the community owner gets commission on the sale.
Do you reckon that happens a lot around like how all these different kind of influencers have their own communities? Obviously, online
definitely.
businesses?
I mean, TikTok Shop.
Oh yes,
that's affiliate marketing. That's literally affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok Shop is huge at the minute. It's massive.
I mean, because anyone can make money from it. Anyone can monetize their following, or you don't even really have to have a following anymore to TikTok promote TikTok Shop videos. So you've not even got to promote the video yourself. TikTok will push these TikTok Shop videos because obviously it benefits TikTok.
Yeah, they want them to sell products through them.
Yeah, you know exactly. They want to be the marketplace.
Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting about monetizing communities. I personally wouldn't have thought to monetize a brand's community. Like, I'm not sure that could possibly work against the brand. You know, let's say Nike.
Yeah, they'd have to keep it ethical.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if Nike's run club, like I said earlier, all of a sudden gets a subscription thing based, or maybe it's a premium version of it that maybe you get certain benefits, you get early release to new gear or something like that, and then it's, well, what happened to just running? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. They're moving away from what the community actually,
the value of the community
begun. Why it actually begun.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's centered around money. But I mean, I think
if they can keep it ethical, I think there are numerous ways that you can monetize communities, because that's a lot of eyes, it's a lot of people's attention, it's a lot of people that are willing to invest in something they care about.
Yeah, definitely. So where can consumers find these communities?
There are a few different platforms where people can find these sort of communities, different sort of technological sort of platforms like Discord, Slack, Telegram.
Yeah.
These are some huge platforms that foster communities and allow different sort of variations of communities within a channel, for example.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about, you know, what platforms communities kind of engage with each other. A new one that's kind of come around, I'm not sure if you've noticed it, but on WhatsApp, they now have a whole communities tab where you can go into an overall community and then it will have subsections of different like group chats.
Well, similar to like Facebook, sort of.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because they've got a community part as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they had their own. I think they had a tab or a button at the bottom in their taskbar to kind of go to a community stage, but now it's on your chats. So, for example, there's one for the uni. So my course, marketing has it, and then within marketing, it's
The different
ADM, business and marketing, and marketing.
Yeah.
And that's, one way that students here can interact with each other and kind of build a community. Obviously, we are a bit of a community here at the university, but
so brands are really adapting to communities, and they're understanding that communities is sort of the like we were talking with Jimmy. It's not going to replace traditional marketing, but they almost go hand in hand now.
Yeah,
you can. It's all good putting your ads on the TV, but if there isn't a community behind the ad, then it's not really. People aren't going to be able to identify or resonate with the brand.
No, you're completely right, and clearly WhatsApp have kind of realised that and expanded into
They've
that.
joined it, and it's why Slack has become so popular.
Yeah.
Across London as well, within the jobs, Slack is being used more and more frequently for companies in the corporate world.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue Slack is a variant of Discord, because I know about Discord. Obviously, I'm a bit of a gamer, so I know a bit about Discord. But when Slack's come along, I'm using it way more.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, like you said, it's becoming a way more big thing. And it is nice having a platform like Slack or Discord where there's different sections for different communities, different tabs, and you can really like narrow it down and go within each kind of community.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say. It was like you'll have the community, but then you'll have individual communities within
the community.
Yeah, within the community. You might even have ones in between them as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
There's so many different ways to kind of reach different people. So how do AI, VR and blockchain technologies enhance communities and the whole community experience? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, starting with AI, there are AI-powered chatbots. Yeah. So people are able to talk to the brand without even an employee being on the other side. The AI chatbot will just represent the brand and be able to talk to the community. There are also tools that analyze community behavior. So they will be able to recommend tailored content or experiences. So it goes back to the personalization that we talk about in every episode, how AI will be able to personalize these sort of community sort of content, the content for the communities. Also with VR and AR, the immersive experiences will be able to bring communities together.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly expanding on the AR and VR, we spoke about last week, or maybe the week before that actually,
Metaverse.
The metaverse,
yeah.
But not even the metaverse. There's obviously the online or even AI creators.
Oh,
and how?
Yeah, we spoke about it in the first episode.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know who it is, but there's a Twitch streamer who is completely AI, and all of their interactions and stuff on the stream is through VR. And they have a little avatar in VR, and it's like a little room. It's like a lounge. They can just chill and chat online, and you can get an avatar created. I believe it's called Ironmouse. It was the most subscribed to Twitch streamer after Kai Cenat, who just
broke
recently.
that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
blew it out the water. 72,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
So going on from the metaverse, brands like Fortnite have started hosting their own sort of communities.
Yeah, I mean, even from 2017 is when Fortnite was peak, right?
Yeah.
They had the one I remember was the Travis Scott concert.
Yeah, see, that's the one I remember as well. But I think they're doing these more and more frequently. These, these are going on all the time. I think this is a great way that brands are able to collaborate with a very popular game.
Yeah.
And sort of, it might bring people, so say the Travis Scott one, for example, someone who doesn't play Fortnite, because they like Travis Scott, they might join and start.
They would have probably seen the content around it, and they might even start, playing. They might want to see what it's all about.
Exactly, yeah. So that's a way that brands and communities can sort of form together to work together.
Yeah, I mean, just staying on that Fortnite topic for a little while, I'm not sure if you've seen the little web picture of how many different avenues Fortnite has gone down with its collaborations. It's massive.
It's a lot, right? Yeah.
It's massive. From Marvel to, like you said, music, Travis Scott, it's huge. It's huge. And
I've even seen that Messi has
Yeah, Messi.
They're bringing in
Ronaldo,
Messi.
even LeBron James. Like, there's so many different like communities, like we're saying, that they have tapped into by collaborating with these different, not even influencers, just these different brands that, you know, some people have created for themselves and whatnot.
Well, people are a brand. Travis Scott is a brand. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he's a rapper, but he is a brand. His name is a brand. So there are communities that will form with each of these brands.
Yeah, so what about the blockchain?
So brands have started being able to reward customers and sort of like the community with currency and tokens that are on the blockchain.
Right.
So I'll give you an example so you can understand. So if you read it, just like we were talking about earlier, you can build community points. So I'm assuming that this is the more attention your post gets, the more upvotes it gets, sort of thing. You can receive community points.
Okay.
And these community points are on the Ethereum blockchain.
Oh, wow, really?
So they actually represent value on the blockchain through the cryptocurrency Ethereum, which is the second biggest crypto.
Yeah. What? So earning or getting likes and engagement or upvotes and engagement with your post on Reddit can be monetized. Is that how it works? Or through cryptocurrency?
So what we're saying here is users can earn these points by just participating in activities, creating high quality posts, commenting, engaging in discussions. These sort of things will earn these points, and they will.
And these points can be used.
So they're on the blockchain. So using the Ethereum network, so they can be transferred into fiat currency as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that at all.
And these tokens are stored on the user's digital wallets. So Reddit cannot control them or delete them. These are when the person achieves these tokens, then they are those tokens, and all the transactions are tamper-proof, which builds trust between them as well.
Yeah, I mean that's just one way of how the blockchain is being used, I guess, right?
Yeah,
interesting.
It's an interesting way. Right, so now that we've clarified sort of like how you can find these communities and where these communities are at, how do you track the metrics for the success of the communities?
Yeah, I mean, so through engagement rates, community size, and sentiment analysis, right?
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you have to track it somehow. I mean, I've been running my university's basketball team Instagram page. So and on there it's just, you know, follower growth, post likes, post engagement, how many people are viewing my profile, clicking through it. So
you can track it all through the app, right?
Yeah, all through the app. So I'm sure most community like technologies, like we said, so whether that's Discord, whether that's Slack, Telegram, WhatsApp, like we mentioned, Reddit, I'm sure they'll all have metrics on there to determine how to see if your community is growing or not.
Yeah, I mean, the community size is a great one, really. That's literally just looking at the followers or looking at the amount of people in the group.
Yeah,
that's probably the best metric. You could even track the monetization of it. For example, Redbull are using their social media metrics to track their engagement and brand mentions. So that would be through hashtags or tags and all that sort of stuff. And that will measure the sort of community impact. We spoke a lot about hashtags before and how if the brand, which Red Bull do it great, is they start a hashtag trend, they can see exactly how many people have posted that hashtag, and that will really give them the direct feedback of how popular their course is. They can compare it to previous campaigns and competitors' campaigns as well. Yeah,
and like we mentioned before, it means all their content is in one place, you know.
Yeah.
And we spoke about Red Bull. Red Bull's massive for their, similar to GoPro, you know, their content is very customer driven, right? Whether that's, you know, they've got all sorts of skydiving, mountain biking, diving, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, we've got into it before.
I'm sure they'll have metrics on all of those different kind of campaigns that they're running or kind of areas they're running into.
Yeah, so you know how like Red Bull use UGC, user-generated content in a lot of their advertising, GoPro. What are the risks of over-relying on community-driven content for marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did touch on it a couple episodes ago, but obviously, if you're relying too much on your community, how authentic is your marketing as a brand? Do you know what I mean? What are you going to be putting out campaigns that just aren't effective because you're used to just using your community for your campaigns? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They might not be engaging. The community content might not be engaging enough. They might not be performing.
Yeah, exactly. So then when you have to go back to you know, the traditional marketing kind of practices, like, you know, maybe email marketing or even just, you know, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, whatever it is the business is, are you just going to be completely alienated to that process because you've just been so used to using your user-generated content for your community or from your community to make your ads?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
The traditional marketing ways will be able to invite people who have never heard of brand before.
Yeah.
If they are just using community-driven content, then that will only appeal to people who actually already know the brand.
Yeah.
People who don't know the brand will just be confused and most likely just overlook it.
Yeah, and I can imagine it would be a lot harder for someone to join that community if the community is already so high on using their content and pushing it out there. It could be a bit intense for some.
Yeah,
Customers.
They might feel like they've missed the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and maybe they fall behind, and that could look bad for a brand.
It could look bad for a brand.
Yeah, so I mean, just to summarize a little bit, should brands prioritize community engagement even if it risks alienating some audiences?
I think they should still prioritize community engagement. I mean, look at the power of communities. What we were just talking about earlier with Gymshark, for example.
Yeah.
They've built a community, and that community it's the reason why they've been so successful, because people want to identify with Gymshark. They want to be a part of the Gymshark community. So I feel like Gymshark still, as an example, a lot of people that don't go gym, they might feel alienated from the Gymshark space, yet Gymshark is still multi-million dollar company sort of thing. Like, they're still super successful. I feel like a brand shouldn't need to be okay with like being applicable to every audience.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, to be honest, but just to play a little bit of devil's advocate, looking at Nike, for example, they do have a community. You know, they've got multiple different, they're
running club.
Sport. Yeah, they have run club. I'm sure, you know, all their different sports sectors have all sorts of communities.
Yeah, they do.
But Nike still have traditional campaigns. You know, they still push campaigns out for all their new athletes, even their old athletes. If they've got a new shoe coming out, they'll put one of their influencers or athletes in the campaign. But there's all, do you know what I mean? They're
some
core.
of Nike's most successful campaigns are the Just Do It campaign.
Exactly.
That's traditional marketing.
Yeah.
Without that was a crucial part of Nike's sort of development and growth, as well as working with Michael Jordan as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would argue that the most into the future marketing they've done is using influencers. But then, are they influencers or are they just their athletes? You know what I mean? I feel like Nike is a great example of how they don't rely on a community to push all their marketing techniques out.
Yeah, they have a sort of mix of both.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So really, to answer that question, should brands prioritize community engagement even if it alienates some audiences? It's a bit of a mix of both, really.
Yeah.
It's a yes and a no. I think it matters what the brand is. With Gymshark, it doesn't matter. With Nike, it probably does matter.
Yeah, like we said earlier with Jimmy here, it really depends on the brand's identity, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is a line somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there will be.
But yeah, I mean, I think we covered that quite well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's communities in the future of marketing.
Communities in the future of marketing. Yeah. Yeah, I've been one of your hosts, Leon.
I've been Max.
This has been Marketing Tomorrow on Communities. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out our YouTube, or if you're on YouTube, check out our Spotify.
Make sure you like and subscribe the video and comment below your opinions on communities.
Yep. Let us know. And we'll see you next week or
in the final episode.
Yeah, the final episode on... Should we give them the topic, or should we...
Nah.
We'll wait.
Go away.
Cool. We'll see you next time.